Dobry wieczór wszystkim. How are you guys doing today? I hope you are all doing fantastic. I'm Mysticle, and I'll be bringing you the latest in AR and VR news. As usual, you've got chapters down below to skip to any specific part of the video that you would be most interested in, and with that being said, let's jump right into the news. So, first of all, we're going to begin with an incredibly interesting piece of news that, honestly, I did not expect, as Meta might actually be preparing to support third-party controllers on their headsets. This is something that has been wanted for basically the longest time. Even if your Quest controller breaks, well, buying a third-party one could end up being quite a bit cheaper. So, let me tell you why we are speculating that this might be the case, and then you can let me know what you think down below. From Luna on Twitter. Nice find, Astra. I can confirm these are present in the Android app as well. The wording is interesting. There are also other strings that reward the VR controller pairing flow. Is Meta planning to allow third-party controllers/trackers on Quest OS? Actually, that's a very fair point. Trackers could also be something that Meta allows in the future. New strings in the Meta Quest iOS app mentioning pairing third-party controllers, despite not currently supporting them. The app is only used to pair VR controllers, not gamepads. Pair third-party controller. And this is actually a fair point that was mentioned in the comment section. Meta could also just be preparing to allow pairing of gamepads inside the app. But then again, the Quest 3S might be launching without controllers, so this could be a way of Meta basically allowing as much versatility as possible to people when that Quest 3S does launch without controllers. That is, if it does. From Luna, we've actually got quite a few more strings that rewords the pairing flow as well. Make sure that Bluetooth is on and that this device can connect to your headset. Then try again. Hold down the icon for Meta button and icon for B button together on your controller for 4 seconds until the controller has vibrated. So again, this could just be about, normal controllers. However, what doesn't quite suit there is the icon for Meta button and icon for B button. But let's remember, these are just leaks and these are rumors right now. Nothing official has yet been announced, and for all we know, that might not be it. I just think it would be really cool if it was, and it's nice to speculate together. V64, oh wow. I find it crazy that V64 has actually launched a while ago and we're still here talking about the improvements that it brings. I still don't have half the features that I was supposed to receive with V64. I've tried resetting experimental, I've tried formatting, I've tried sideloading again, so I'm just gonna take it as a staggered rollout. But for those of you that do have them, V64 may have also included some improvements to hand tracking against low contrast surfaces and backgrounds. And translating from Cafe Singularity, I also noticed that the hand tracking on Quest 3 has improved. In the past, when I, an Asian, tried tracking under incandescent lighting on a wooden table, the tracking would be too unstable and would jump or shift. But now it's gone like a lie. I'm assuming that's a translation error. I don't know if it's an update to V64 or something before that. So it's nice to see that V64 has also apparently improved hand tracking. I guess this makes sense. They improved pass-through, so improved pass-through would hopefully help the headset distinguish between hands and other surfaces. V64 seems to be a rather large update. However, a lot of you guys are still telling me that you're getting A, the USB water debris error, and B, that scope storage hasn't been fixed. So also, please let me know down in the comments whether you're having issues with those two still after V64, because I know for a fact that scope storage was supposed to be fixed. And just jumping in real quick, in case you guys haven't seen yesterday's video, there's actually a really good deal on a Humble Bundle going down right now. So if you want to get yourself some really cheap VR games while also supporting the channel at the same time, links for that will be down below. These are PC VR games, not Quest games, so be aware of that. Now onto a little bit of a different piece of VR news, as I'm not sure how many of you know, but there was a little bit of drama on the VR Twitter. It was actually between John Carmack, Palmer Luckey, and Meta's CTO Andrew Bosworth. And of course, I'm going to leave a link to that thread down below. However, reading from Upload VR, when I saw the former Oculus CTO John Carmack wrote, "I regret not doing more to support and defend Palmer Luckey at Facebook. We were in different states and divisions, and I was largely out of the political loop. But when I became aware of the situation, I should have made a clear and open statement of opposition to the witch hunt." Carmack added 2 statements in separate paragraphs. Companies are better off without the crowd that did that, and thankfully, Palmer has gone on to even greater success. And the thread goes on and on. Obviously, you can see it floating above me right now, but once again, links will be down below if you want to go to the official sources. I find it interesting that these three fairly large figures decided to go on Twitter and air this out in front of everyone publicly. Then again, I do understand there was also kind of public pressure put on you at one point. I'll leave the thread below for you guys to make up your own opinions. Now, moving on to something entirely different, Pimax has announced 2 new wired PC VR headsets, the $700 Crystal Lite and the $1,800 Crystal Super. If you don't know Pimax, they're known for making absolutely crazy PC VR headsets with super wide field of view and really high resolutions, also really high refresh rates, so pretty much really high everything. They're known for pushing limits. The current Pimax Crystal, which started shipping around a year ago, priced at $1,600, is a hybrid headset that can be used as a native wired PC VR headset or a standalone headset, though a number of supported standalone apps is very small. The new $300 wireless adapter for the original Crystal, promised at the headset's reveal almost 2 years ago, will make Crystal Pimax's first wireless headset. It uses a 60 GHz signal, so it should support higher bandwidth and thus less compression than regular Wi-Fi streaming on headsets like the Quest or the Pico. The new Crystal Lite and the Crystal Super will not support this adapter. That's because, unlike the original Crystal, the new headsets forego the onboard chipset and battery in favor of a lighter, wired-only, PC-only design, with Lite having a cheaper entry price and Super offering a higher resolution. The Crystal Lite has the same 2880 by 2880 resolution QD LCD displays as Crystal, but drops eye tracking. The $700 base model Lite lacks mini LED local dimming, but it's available in a second $900 model. Crystal Super will also come in 2 models. Both have 4K displays, but on the $1,800 model, those displays will be QD LCD, while on the $2,000 model, they will likely be micro OLED. Unlike Crystal Lite, Crystal Super retains the eye tracking from the original Crystal, which enables eye-tracked foveated rendering. All Pimax Crystal models support markerless inside-out positional tracking and come with 6-DoF touch-like tracked controllers. What is also super interesting here is that I saw Pimax on Twitter talking about the fact that the Crystal Super will actually have replaceable optical engines, which is pretty crazy, and they've known to make pretty crazy statements in the past, so we'll have to see how this comes out. A new OpenXR 1.1 update is out, and that brings extensions like foveated rendering and more into the core spec. OpenXR is the open industry standard API for native XR app development and runtimes. It's managed by Kronos, the same non-profit industry consortium that manages OpenGL, Vulkan, and WebGL. The OpenXR working group includes all the major companies in the industry, including Meta, Pico, HTC, Valve, Vario, and Unity, but notably not Apple. The OpenXR 1.0 specification was finalized in 2019. Various companies and groups have added extra features on top of the core spec through OpenXR extensions, and OpenXR 1.1 brings 5 of these extensions into the core specification to be supported by all devices: stereo with foveated rendering, local floor, grip surface, XR locate spaces, and XR UUID. Kronos says OpenXR 1.1 also delivers new features and clarifications, including 13 new interaction profiles, identifiers for thumb resting surfaces, styluses, trigger curl, and trigger slide, proximity detection for controller elements, and localized haptics in the index trigger and under the thumb. That's pretty crazy. 1.1 sounds more like a 2.0 to me. But yeah, it's nice to see OpenXR growing, as it does help quite a bit with the standardization of VR apps and games, allowing basically any device that supports OpenXR and a game that supports OpenXR to run on most of these devices, which is really cool. It helps out the industry by, not having exclusives and making it easier for developers to port from one device to another. Niantic's 8th Wall now supports the Apple Vision Pro. However, it does only support it in the VR mode, which I find kind of weird, considering I see 8th Wall as this big AR thing that Niantic has been working on. 8th Wall is a web-based AR engine, which has a fully in-browser editor and offers cloud hosting for built projects. Niantic is the company behind smartphone AR games like Pokemon Go, Pikmin Bloom, and Monster Hunter Now. Last month, Upload VR reported on 3 8th Wall demos that supported cross-play between smartphones and the Quest 3. We also talked about this in a previous video. Niantic has now added support for the Vision Pro in 8th Wall, but there's a major catch. Apple Vision Pro supports WebXR, yes, through enabling advanced Safari flag, but it does not support the WebXR augmented reality module. That means that web apps can show fully immersive VR content on the Vision Pro, but can't display on top of pass-through for AR. Again, I find this really weird, and I really hope that this gets fixed soon, as, you know, AR is the biggest part of the Vision Pro. That's what most people are using it for, and having WebXR not be able to access that yet is kind of a downer. To work around this, Eighth Wall makes it easy for developers to add a virtual environment as the background for their otherwise AR apps. These apps will run in AR mode on mobile and Meta Quest, and in VR for the Vision Pro. It's cool to see Niantic adding support in Eighth Wall for the Vision Pro, basically expanding that device list even further. Those of you that have been with the channel for a while now may know that I'm a huge fan of basically every single device being able to access every single app. I like Unity, and I like that idea of the metaverse being an interconnected space that any device can access anywhere. And, you know, without things like WebXR, OpenXR, I just don't think this would be possible, with every company having their own framework, their own way of doing things, and then blocking others. So I really hope that this becomes more prominent in the VR and AR space. And finally, Cold VR takes Smash Hit's Superhot VR time freeze mechanic and completely inverts it. If you guys are fans of Superhot, this is something interesting that I found on Road to VR, since I was a big fan of Superhot personally. Well, in case maybe you've finished Superhot and are looking for something similar but different to play, I know, that makes no sense, but that's basically what I was looking for. Cold VR inverts Superhot's mechanic. Stay still, and the time moves quickly. So essentially, you'll have to keep moving in order to complete your run, which might just get some extra workout in there for you. Developed by Allware, Cold VR pits you against a corrupted AI who you must battle, all of while being helped by a friendly hacker man who pops up in cutscenes between levels. Cold VR is slated to launch on PC VR headsets sometime this summer. In the meantime, you can download the free VR demo over on the game's Steam page. So, once again, quite excited for this one to launch, as I did like Superhot a lot. The thing is, you know, there's only so many times you can play it. Yeah, they've added that endless game mode now, but I feel like I did prefer the campaign. Either way though, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day or night, wherever you guys are in the world. And if you guys are not yet part of our community, check out our Discord and our Reddit down below, where I want to see you posting your spice memes. If you guys are Polish, we've got a Polish channel. I don't even know what to tell you about that video. It's still being edited, seriously. Life. And thank you so much to anyone supporting the channel in any way, shape, or form. Thank you to the patrons, thank you to the people posting super thanks, and thank you to the people who have bought me a coffee. You guys are helping out a ton, and your support means so much to me. So seriously, much love. And as usual, if you guys want to need fun content coming up on the channel, make sure to smack that subscribe button with your forehead, ding my bell, and see you again in the next video. Peace.
Już trzecie jest. Ale chyba mają gdzieś.
Patrz. Chyba ma. Chyba ma gdzieś. To za lekceważenie.
Koko? Tak jak Koko ma mnie gdzieś.